We finna rule this planet. We ain't gonna keep God laws, and we keeping them with Glennis. Y'all walk around with sadness. Ready for the war, we standing. We hit the street, they panic. Strip coming out, they vanish. You will never ever say to me black or Hispanic, cause my nationality.
It's people on this earth, direct enemies to the Most High God above, Christ, His Son, the Black Messiah, and the children of Israel. The Bible deals with it, and that's what we're trying to bring out to you. And guess what else the Bible does? The Bible brings solutions to the issues and the problems that are plaguing our community.
We're not rising up with knives or gangs. We're not rising up with that. We're rising up with the word of God. Read. He created us in His image, and He gave us the whole world. You ever seen the movie Scarface? Guess what? The whole world is yours, and everything in it.
Go down to the women.
Verse 3, and the aged women likewise, that they be in the behavior as becoming holiness, not false accusers, not giving.
Hey, real quick, Keisha, let me ask you a quick question, right? So, just be real. Like, why do you drink or why do you smoke? Just to ease the problems and everything that's going on, right? Just to cope, right? So, a lot of times that's what happens. It's like we utilize alcohol and we utilize weed, we utilize cigarettes, Black and Milds. We utilize all that stuff to cope with our day-to-day. You know what I'm saying? Because the struggle real, right? It's real out here, right? And that... You said what?
Mental illness and PTSD.
PTSD.
On top of it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of all our people struggle with PTSD. Why? Because we all going through the struggle, right?
And mental illness.
And mental illness, right? So when you say mental illness, what you talking about? Like depression?
Everybody deals with depression.
Depression, right?
Yeah.
But that's why we come out here and we teach, right?
Why y'all ain't saying no right for that? Come on now.
That's why we come out here and teach, right? So we're teaching our nationality, right?
Right.
And what we're going to let you know is, as the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, everybody's going through the same struggle. You see what I'm saying? Everybody going through the same thing, right? Yeah. If you look on this sign, you can find who you actually are, right? So come here, sis. I got you, Keisha. Come on. So Miss Keisha, right? So you would call yourself an American Black, so-called? What would you call yourself? American Indian? Your father is Native American?
My grandmother is.
Your grandmother. So it's all about your father, right? So whatever your father is, that's what you are.
He
is his grandfather? Alright, all praises. Alright. So you think about the struggle of everything that our people go through, right? You look at reservations, you look at all that type of stuff. And one, we gotta wake up every day and go to work for people that hate us. You watch the news, right? Like the moment that you do something that they don't like, they'll shut you down. Just like you see what happened with Kyrie and everything like that. What was Kyrie talking about?
Well, Kyrie, basketball.
Kyrie Irving. What was he talking about?
I'm
gonna show you something.
You should tell me something.
So Kyrie Irving got suspended for telling everybody that they were the true Jews, correct? You seen that? Kyrie Irving. You saw some of it. Kyrie Irving got suspended from the Brooklyn Nets for telling everybody that he is a true Jew.
Right. I'm sorry to hear that.
Kanye lost billions of dollars because he said the same thing. You find something strange about calling yourself a Jew and they would shut you down?
That's disrespectful.
Right. But the same people that we're letting you know that you are the true Jews, the true Israelites, we go through the most stuff. We go through the most, not the oppression. We go through the worst stuff, and that's why a lot of our people turn to alcohol. Right. That's why a lot of our people turn to weed, and we think that's normal, right? But at the end of the day, let me ask you this, right? So when you fire that thing up, or when you stop firing that thing up, or when you take that drink, as soon as you come down for your high or come down from drinking, you still gotta go back and do what? You still gotta go back and deal with reality, right? So all that stuff that you put in your body, one, is gonna destroy you, like what also was bringing out. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us used to drink, a lot of us used to smoke heavy, but we had to come to the realization that none of that stuff was gonna fix none of the problems. What we're bringing out is the only true change and the only source of peace that you're gonna get is from diving into these scriptures.
Right.
Romans 15:4. Yep. Give me Romans 15:4 and then give me what you was holding. Because this is what you gotta turn to, sis. I'm gonna tell you.
Because that's what I was on it too.
What you read? You read every day?
I read, especially when I'm upset and can't touch it.
When you upset?
Yeah.
All right, let's show you something real quick. Let me know. Romans 15:4.
Romans 15 verse 4. Whatsoever things were written before time were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
So all the things, this Bible was written a long time ago, but everything written in here was given to you to help you in this time, right? Because eventually Keisha will come along and Keisha will be going through a struggle and she would need something that's going to build her up.
Basic instructions before leaving her.
There's a lot of instructions in here, right? One of them is not to defile your temple. You know what I'm saying? So you got to apply that thing. It's one thing for us to know, like what was being brought out. It's one thing for us to know, but until we start really doing what it actually says, we don't get the full effect. You know what I'm saying? Because like, for example, the Bible say, you need to marry your women. Until brothers start applying that, we don't know what it's like to not have single parent households. Or brothers have to pay child support, or brothers have to do this and that, right? But what you gotta do, that's you?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, Keisha, real quick, real fast.
I gotta go get my mama's birthday stuff, y'all.
Okay.
I promise. How long y'all gonna be out here? About another hour?
Yeah, we should be out here until, no, we're gonna be leaving soon.
Okay. I'll catch y'all.
They got that flyer, we got an address on the flyer.
This is Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Bring it on!
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So that's what we coming out here to teach. The problem that we're having is we'll come out here, we'll tell our people what the problem is, but they look beyond it. The answer is simple. The answer is that we've been breaking God's commandments for so long. That's why we're in the conditions that we're living through.
Right.
That's why we gotta struggle. That's why we love getting high. That's why we gotta go to the club. That's why we love doing all that type of stuff. Because we're depressed about everything that's going on.
Teach.
Give me Deuteronomy 15. 15. Read.
Get up. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
But we got the warning. The warning told us that if we weren't going to listen to what the Bible had to say, read that from the top.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the curses that we live through today are self-inflicted. I hate to say it, Kanye said it before, but yes, the curses that we go through today, they are self-inflicted. Why? Because we don't like to listen. We don't like to do what is right. We like to act like we do, but we're not actually doing what's right. The moment that y'all realize, like even today is a Sabbath day. Until we start realizing that we're not supposed to break the Sabbath day, we're going to continue to struggle on the Sabbath day. Right. How many of our people are killed every Sabbath day? How many of our people go broke on the Sabbath day, spending the money that they were supposed to keep in their pocket? How many of y'all realize that type of stuff? Nobody takes the time to really sit back and say, hey, am I actually living right or am I just saying that? Nobody does that. Everybody is doing what's right in their own eyes. And you can't move like that. That's the problem that we're going through today. Give me verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So cursed shall we be in the city. Cursed everywhere that we go. There's no place that we can go where our people are not being oppressed. You can't go to Thompson. You can't go to Augusta. You can't go to Grovetown where our people are not being oppressed.
Right.
Our people are going through the struggle everywhere.
Right.
There's always projects everywhere. There's always a need for food stamps everywhere.
Right.
There's always black on black crime everywhere.
Right.
Right. And like the officer was bringing out earlier, it's like when brothers purchase firearms, it's noticeable that they have no intention of actually protecting themselves. They glorify their firearms. Matter of fact, when brothers first get their firearm, what they do? They go take that thing to the bathroom, they empty out the clip, they take it out, they point that thing in the mirror like how they gonna hold it, how they gonna shoot. The first person they point at is themselves. Why? Because they have no love for their self.
Bring it on.
They hate their self. That's why they do that. That's why we showing that we hate ourselves. We showing that we hate our people. Give me that, Leviticus 5:1. Give me that. Because this is another thing that's wrong. Our people have that no snitching. Our people refuse to tell on one another. It's okay. We're going to tell you that it's okay. If you see a brother going off, let them know. Why? Because if you don't, read.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 5 verse 1. If a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness, whether he hath seen or known of it.
So if you see something going down, like let's say you see a brother rob another brother, or you see a brother shoot up somebody's house, right? You see that go down. Or even if you heard a Pookie down the street when he shot up such and such house, or he shot up such and such car. If you're a witness or you've heard of it, what are you supposed to do? Read.
And if he do not utter it,
he don't repeat what he said or what he's seen or what he heard, meaning he don't tell nobody, he just keep it to himself. Read.
Then he shall bear his iniquity.
You just as guilty. If you witness something and you scared to say something and do what's right, you just as guilty.
Right.
The same applies for our people. Give me that in Leviticus 19. Give me that. Because the same applies for our people. You just as guilty for not giving warning.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today.
Matter of fact, give me that Ezekiel. Ezekiel 3:17. Give me that. Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Because our people don't realize what we're out here to do. Us as the prophets, we're coming out here with a special mission. We're coming out here to deal with the people and change the conditions.
Right.
We're coming out here to point out the sins that we see.
Right.
We're coming out here to stop the wickedness, stop the foolishness, and start something new. Give me that.
Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 17.
Bring it on.
Son of man, I have made thee a watchman.
We are the son of man. We are the prophets of the Most High God.
Yes,
we are here to push his word and do the work of the Lord. Read.
I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
A watchman for the house of Israel. We are the watchmen for the nation of Israel, for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's who we are sent to protect and guide and watch out for. That's what we're here for. Read.
Therefore hear the word at my mouth.
Hear the word. Hear this Bible. Hear these laws at our mouth. Hear what we're trying to tell y'all. We're giving y'all warning. Read.
And give them warning from me.
The Most High said to give y'all warning because if you don't fix it, destruction is coming. Destruction is coming for y'all. And you can't avoid it. Read.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning.
So the Most High is letting you know, hey, if you smoke, Hey, if you killing, hey, if you laying down with sisters and you're not trying to marry them, the Most High is warning against those things. Why? Because it's all in the Bible. You're not supposed to do none of that stuff, right? The Most High points that stuff out, and if we decide we're not going to give warning, read.
Nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
The same man going to die in his iniquity. This ain't the Christian church. The Christian church tell you do whatever the hell you want to do, and it's all good. All you got to do is pray and believe and go to church and pay your tithes money, and you're going to be all right. You can't find that nowhere in the Bible. The Bible say if you want to live in the midst of sin, you're going to die in the same sin.
Right.
Read.
But his blood will I require at thy hand.
So, if we don't warn our people and they die, you're just as guilty.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.